Hey everyone, welcome to Q&A number 2. This is for my school community called Made by J. Willis Studio. So if you want to ask a question, just join the studio group, and then we'll go to classroom, Q&A, and then this is where you can find the old Q&As, and then if you'll just post in the Q&A thread what your question is. So the first question that we have today is from Carter. And he's basically asking, how can you make these tubes basically connect to like a cylinder, similar to how this does? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make the cylinder first, and I'm going to have to kind of just guess as far as like the dimensions of things, but I'll just do some stuff that I can somewhat easily remember. And then the way that I think about this is I'm going to make a solid first, and then I'm going to shell everything out. So let's say that looks probably about proportionate. And again, the dimensions really aren't that important. You can modify those however you need, but it's really, I think, the technique that we're trying to kind of emphasize here. I'm not going to make the top because that's going to be a little bit redundant as far as what we're trying to do. And then this had some fillets on both sides, something, you know, kind of like that would be a good starting point. If you want to make it look even more like that, let's see if we can find some metal. Maybe it's kind of aluminum looking. Yeah, sure. Okay, so there is our kind of basic shape, which if you use your imagination is pretty similar. Not perfect, but pretty good start. And so what we're really trying to do is make these tubes. So I'm going to go in and make a new sketch. I'm going to make it on one of these profiles. And then I think one of the key features here is the project intersect. And so when I click this, it gives you essentially where that plane intersects the side of this shape. So now we can go ahead and look at the plane and then just draw a circle and then make this tangent. So make the edge of that tangent with that. So basically in three-dimensional space, this is now flush against the edge of this shape. And so now all we really have to do is position this, which is pretty straightforward. Let's go with 100 maybe. And then I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. So let's go with maybe 25, which is about an inch or so. Okay. And so now we just click finish sketch, and then we're going to extrude just like that. And now pull it out and then click join. And so now we have essentially what we were looking for. If we go back to this, it kind of tapers into the body there. And if you don't want it to be kind of on the very edge, which it looks like that one's not quite on the edge, just because of how it tapers. So we'll go back into here, and instead of doing this tangent feature, we can just space it off just a little bit. So like 15. And I think that's probably a little more representative of how it actually works. And so now if we want to do another one, kind of like that picture has, we'll just do the same thing on this side and click create, project include, intersect. And sometimes project by itself works, but again, it's just not really consistent is what I found. And then I think we made this 15, and then we can make this 50 probably. And then I'm going to click finish sketch, and then again extrude here, and then you do it at some distance, not just kind of random like what I'm doing. And then if you want to make it look a little bit better, you can use like a couple of millimeter fillet there. Click OK. And so now the big last technique is shell. And so we select this, say like 2 or so. And so that's going to show out everything. You can see that it's going into those tubes that we just made, like in here, but it's not open on the end. So the way you do that is hold Command and then select the faces. And so now we have a fully hollow structure. And click OK. And so next, now you could add like threads and things like that. So just depending on, what you want. If you check modeled, if you're 3D printing it, you'll need to check modeled, but if you're just doing it for, designing purposes, you won't have to do that. And then you can also change how long they are. Right now, full length is selected, but you might want to do like 15 millimeters or so. You can see how they stop there. Click OK. And then we can also do a thread on the top here. So this is just showing the thread. It's not actually modeling it. So you'd have to change it to modeled, which is fine. It's just going to slow down your computer some depending on your processing. And you can see there, that's not going to work. So you'd have to go up a little bit on the size. There we go. And so that is how, and just to make it consistent, we'll check modeled on this as well. Okay, and so now you have basically that shape that we were looking for. I'm going to hide that. And then just for fun, we can do a render. Let it run for a second. And so that's a pretty decent way of doing kind of what you're trying to do there. There's a couple more steps involved. I don't really know what the purpose of the model was for, but just in general, I think it's a good technique to know is just trying to kind of think about it in series. I think if you didn't think about the shell command, it would be a lot more difficult. So that's my thoughts on this Q&A, and this file will be available in the school community if you're interested in downloading it and playing with it. And again, it wasn't just, I didn't really refine it any, but it's just the concepts again that we're looking into. Okay, and then the second question by TJ, he actually has a pretty nice model going. He said that he's new to CAD, but he's done some pretty nice work, and I should check out what he designed here. Basically just like a little nightstand, which turned out really good in my opinion, especially if you're just getting started. So he mentioned something about headphones with a top on them. I asked him what he was talking about, and it makes sense now. It's like the case has a top, and then you can see in his model he has a nice little cutout for the USB-C to stick into. So overall, this is a good design. I'm just going to take a shot at, doing it the way I would think about it. Not that this is right or wrong by any means. I like his design a lot, but just thought since he mentioned, he'd like any feedback on it, this is kind of what I would do. And it's really just a different design, similar in a lot of ways. So I don't know what the diameter of the headphones holder is, but I'm just gonna guess. I really just like using slots a lot. The more I've used it, the more I've enjoyed just how straightforward and simple they are. I mean, it's just very, I don't know, I just like them. They're simple to use and they look pretty good. And a big thing that I like about them is 3D printing does good with slots because there isn't like a straight, there's not a 90-degree angle. So printers are pretty good at making curves just in general, especially when the curve is like in the plane of the print head. So that's just something to think about when you're designing stuff. And so what I'm going to do is essentially pretty similar to what he made, just a slightly different variation here. And I'm actually going to probably move this out some. And then let's make these share tangency. And then, I want this to be the same size as that. And then, let's see. Thinking about how I want the raise part to kind of work together. Make this 3. And again, there's a lot of different ways to do this. By no means is this the textbook perfect way. And then let's change this tangency. Let's make these tangent. Okay, like that. All right, and so now we're going to just extrude out this main shape here, which is pretty much the same thing that he did. Just slightly different version. Again, don't know exactly how deep his piece is. And to be honest, I should have done 2 components, but I didn't. So I'm going to go to object, and we're going to do an offset of 3 or -3. Okay, I actually want to, let's do these. So I want these to have a bottom as well. And then we're going to just extrude these. I know the distance, but I try to make it this way so that I can update things easily. Okay, and so now you can see we have the different pieces, and now I'm going to fillet this the same as the other pieces, and this is just my design preference. not anything particularly special. Okay, and then he had the cutout, which I would highly recommend. So that was definitely a nice design feature. Mine's going to be a little bit bigger than his. I think a USB-C is about 10 millimeters wide. So it's going to have a big cutout here. I would probably do a little more to make sure this is actually accurate. Maybe just make it like 12 just in case. I should have done this the first time, but if you just, that's another tip as far as like dimensioning symmetric things. If you just make that equal to the other dimension, you can easily just update so that they're, matching each other from a mid plane like this one. And then the fillet, if you change that, should also be changed, which it would really been better to do a parameter, but just going to go with it like this. I don't love that. I don't know why. I must have had another edge selected. Huh. So see, that's a little bit of a kind of strange error because this side isn't doing it, but it must have been with my cutout. Something here is weird. Do like 5.9. Yeah, so sometimes I think it's probably because this is on a radius and this is not actually the exact distance. So I just went with 5.9 and it's pretty much imperceptible. So let's change the color of this just because I don't like looking at this color. Let's do the blue. That looks good and better. All right. And so now I think this would be essentially where he would put the headphones in his design. So that part, and now I'm going to come up on the sides, and his is definitely more like modern looking. I think this is going to work together pretty well. So also going to add some chamfers, which I usually do this at the end, but I think in this case, it doesn't make a huge difference. Oops. I've been using like 0.4 a good bit, especially on like 3 millimeter walls, which is what I used. Doesn't seem like it makes a big difference, but it makes it look a lot better. Also do on the bottom. You can also do 0.6, or really I could probably do 1 here, but anyway, now I'm going to start the new body, which I really should have made it a separate component here. So if you're coming along and copying this, then do that instead. And I'm actually going to base a lot of this off of this original sketch. So I'm going to make this the legs essentially. So we're going to go 2 sides, and then this side is going to go basically down to here, and then this can be as high as you really want it to be. That's probably good. And then we'll also add this to the outside. Trying to think if I want to use these or not. Just gonna leave it like that for now. And then I want this to be a new body. I forgot to do that last time. And then this is gonna have to join to the other body. Okay, so now I'll basically just have that. And then you can see where pretty easy just to make these parts come on up around it. Let's see, start from here. And then you can make it kind of as big as you want it to be. So something like that. And then let's see. It depends on how much stuff you want to be able to hold too. Distance to object. Also, it's going to be 3 again, or -3. All right, and so that's just a different concept there. Let's see. Yeah, I want that to come all the way out to the, yes, let's include that. So I got joined together. This one, you gotta hide that. And then I would add those chamfers here. You could probably do more than 0.4 there for sure. And then I would print this upside down essentially. So that's going to have that little groove because of the chamfers we had, which I think gives a little nice effect to it. It's pretty simple, but you could also play around with the width of this. So the way I would print this, I'll just export these and then show y'all here in a second how I put it in the slicer. All right, so now that we have this done, one last thing that we need to do is to add some tolerance so that these will fit. So the way I do that, you can tell that I didn't add any tolerances so far, and there's a lot of different ways to do it, but this is one way I use sometimes is basically leave it with no tolerance. And then at the very end, if you do press pull, and then just select whatever you want to add tolerance to, and then just do negative 0.1 or so. And you might have to do negative 0.2 just depending on your printer tolerances or what you're using it for. But you can see here, it's basically just pushing in on that face. So it's going to give us a little bit of tolerance. And then if we bring this one back in and then do an analysis, so inspect, section analysis, and then we come up here, you can see if we zoom in, that there's a little bit of space between those two bodies. So that is how you can do that. And then I would make one of these a little bit different colors. So that would be how I would design this. And you can play around with how big the circles are and a lot of other things. And you could also add a chamfer here if you wanted to for looks. Some people might like that. I don't know, kind of like how simple this is. Okay, and now I'm going to export it and show you how I would print it off. All right, so now I have the files on the printer. This is a Pris XL, but applies to any printer. I would make this face down. So this, is going to tell you this is an overhang, but if you think about it, this is not going to be singing. It's going to be, inside here. So even if this is kind of strandy looking, it doesn't really matter that much. And then this is obviously face down. And I think that this should turn out pretty well. This is, as I said, bridging, but it's not really that far of a bridge. And then this should, slide into there, and it's going to give it a nice surface finish on the top here. And yeah, I think that this would turn out pretty well. So, all right, so that's about all I have for today. If you have any questions, join our studio community, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.